Hey, it's Shay. Welcome back to my channel, guys. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. So today we have a pregnancy line progression. This is my first time doing this, even though this is my now third pregnancy for baby number 3. And this is gonna be me showing you the lines that I did this cycle for cycle 5. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Quick disclaimer, I don't have the best lighting in my bathroom, so don't mind that. I hope you guys can still see. And these tests have been sitting, so it did get a little bit yellow. But this is gonna be my line progression for the first response tests. They also have 2 different caps. I'm not sure why. It's like a light pink one and then a dark pink. I heard that the dark pink is not as sensitive as the light pink ones. I don't know why. These are 2 different colors, but they pretty much do the same thing, obviously, test for pregnancy. But I like the light ones better than the dark ones. Let me know in the comments below if you also agree. But the first response has the most sensitive time to pick up early pregnancy. You can test 5 to, I believe, 6 days before your missed period, which is clearly what I did. And yeah, so I just want to show you guys my tests. I was also very nervous because I saw faint lines, as we'll get into. So this is also why I kept testing, and you're supposed to test because you want to see that line get darker, that second line, the test line, which is always near like the testing P side on, yeah, pretty much like the left mostly, sometimes the right. But yeah, so you want to keep testing for that dye stealer. So that is what I did this time. This is my first time doing this, so I'm actually really excited. And also, don't mind my voice. I am getting over a cold right now. My little baby girl got me sick with the cold, but I am getting past it, thank God. So yeah, so let's just get right into that. Also, one more thing to note. So basically, implantation is when your egg implants into the uterus. If you are pregnant, and this can happen from 6 to 12 DPO, but it normally happens around 8 to 9 DPO for most people. That's what I've saw and read from doctors on the internet and stuff. I'm not a doctor, by the way. I'm just a single young mom just doing her research and pregnant. So I'm sharing my experience with you guys and my story and my experience. But yeah, that's what the doctor said, that it happens around 8 to 9 mostly, but it can happen from 6 to 12 DPO. So basically early or late implantation. And also from 1 to 5 DPO, they said medically it's not pregnancy symptoms. It's just a surge of progesterone and ovulation pains. So even if you're pregnant, 1 to 5 DPO is not really symptoms. Basically, it's just, it is, but it's not pregnancy yet. It's just progesterone, even if you are pregnant. So people say like they don't want a symptom spot, but you are feeling stuff, and I knew I was feeling stuff too. That'll be a whole nother video, but yeah, I just wanted to share those quick disclaimers with you guys. Also, I'm 5 weeks pregnant when filming this video, so I'm already out of breath, so don't mind that as well. But yeah, so 1 to 5, they say don't test because it's just not pregnancy symptoms. It's progesterone, which is a hormone in your body you need to hold on to that egg and that implantation. And they say not to test that early. You're supposed to test from the day of your missed period to or the day of your expected period, or at least the earliest is 8 to 10 DPO, which they also recommend testing at 12 to see your first positive, because you can get a false negative when it says you're not pregnant even if you are. So yeah, keep that in mind. Sorry about all the FAQs. I know you guys want to just get into the testing, so let's just do that. But yeah, that's just for those who are curious. Okay, so like I said, don't mind these water droplets. I've had these on my counter, so some water spilled. But so I tested pretty early. I wasn't gonna test until about probably, I was gonna wait till at least 9 DPO because I normally get a positive at 10 in my other 2 prior pregnancies. But I want to test at 9. I tested early, actually at 6, but I tested on 8 DPO with the first response. So at 8 DPO, It was definitely negative. You can't see anything. I didn't see anything at 8 DPO when obviously I am and I was pregnant here, but it didn't pick it up, so I didn't get my positive at 8. And I actually, this was my last first response test that I had in my box, so I did skip testing on 9 DPO with first response. So yeah, I couldn't test on 9 because I ran out of tests in my other box. I had to order some more, so that's why 9 DPO was missing, which I actually am kind of sad about, because if I would have tested at 9 DPO, I think I actually would have got my very first faint positive line. And sorry about that, my card had ran out of room, so, but yeah, I'm back. But, okay, so let's just skip 9 DPO. So 8 DPO, nothing. 9 DPO, didn't get to test on first response, but I did test on these other tests. That'll be another line progression video, but don't worry about those. But if you see those are other tests. So here on 10 DPO, this is where I found my first faint positive. My first faint positive line. It was way fainter on these other tests. We'll get into that in another video, like I said. But here on first response, I had to take a first response right away because I saw my first faint positive and I could not believe it because it was so faint on the other tests. I hate how like nasty and dirty these tests look because they've been sitting here for a while so I can make this video. So I'm so sorry about that. It's like bothering me. But I guess you guys don't mind. Hopefully you don't. But yeah. So 10 DPOs where I got my first positive. So it was super faint, but as expected, because 10 DPO is still early. And it's so crazy because I get, like, you guys probably saw my last video if you guys have been following me, but I thought I wasn't even pregnant. That's why I had to take this, but I am. So yeah. And then 11 DPO, this is when I started getting worried, even though it's still early, but the line is still super faint. So I started getting very, very scared and nervous, and that's how I knew I loved my baby right away, because I was wanting this line to get darker, even though it was like a shock to me still. But here the line, if it'll focus, but the line's still super faint. Even at 11, early, still super faint line. 12, don't mind the other test. 12 DPO, the line is still faint. And I will say my line started getting darker, so you're supposed to read your result within 5 to 10 minutes. On these, you can read it within 10 minutes before it's invalid. So when I waited, the lines did get darker. So I would suggest that too, instead of looking at it right away, even at 5 minutes, because my lines were super light still, even in the 5 to 6 minute window. So I waited on these first response for like within 10 minutes. So that was super light as well. I guess a little bit darker than 10 and 11. So on 12 DPO, 13 DPO is when the line did start getting darker. And then at 12 DPO, because the line was so faint, I did take this clear blue and it said pregnant at 12 DPO. I know these digital ones, especially clear blue, takes a while to say pregnant. So I was so surprised to see that. And that confirmed for me that I was definitely pregnant. So at 12 DPO, you see the line, and then on the digital it said I was pregnant. 13 DPO, the line was still light to me, so I was still worried here, but it is getting a little darker. And I don't know if you could tell, but the control line also started getting darker as well. So that was very interesting to me. So then here's 14 DPO, the line is still light to me, not much of a difference in my opinion. And then 15 DPO, the line started to get darker. 16 DPO, definitely getting darker. So it started getting darker at 15 DPO, 16 DPO, started getting darker. 17 DPO, definitely started getting darker a little bit too. 18 DPO is almost like the same as the test line. The control line, it started getting almost just as dark, but still not my dye stealer. 19 DPO, still kind of as dark, maybe a little lighter, so still a little bit worried. And HCG is supposed to double up. That's the pregnancy hormone in your body. It's supposed to double every 2 to 3 days, so your lines again should be getting darker for a good, healthy, sticky pregnancy. So then from 19 to 20, I got my dye stealer at 20 DPO. on first response. So it took a minute. This is definitely the more expensive route, and there's other tests you can use to get your dye stealer, which I took 3 different brand tests, or technically 4, but 3 different brand tests for the dye stealers, and they all about said the same thing, but this is more expensive. It was like $12 a box, so you might want to keep that in mind. But I wanted to do this in this pregnancy to just show my progression, and I was really worried, so it was worth the spend, you know, for my baby. So yeah. And then I kept testing. I used the rest of my tests. 21 DPO, definitely a dye stealer. But this control line is lighter than this one. I don't know what's wrong with this test, but my dye stealer is still there. And then 22 DPO, this is the last test that I used, and this is my final test, and my dye stealer is definitely there, and the control line got better than this one. I don't know what's wrong with the 21 DPO test, but this got a little darker with the control line, and there's my dye stealer again. So, and I keep getting dye stealers, thank you God, Jesus Christ, for my baby number 3. And yeah, so I got a really dark one at 22 DPO. But again, if you look here, 20 DPO is when I got my dye stealer, when I officially knew that I could stop testing because the line got darker, and this is my dye stealer, which the hormone's very strong. So yeah, it's supposed to be as dark or darker than the control line, which it's darker. My hormones tend to do that, to be darker than the control line, so I'm very happy and thankful for that. And yeah, this is baby number 3 for me. So we're just gonna do a quick recap. So 8 DPO, nothing. 10 DPOs where I got my first faint positive line. 11 DPO, still super faint. 12 DPO, faint. 12 DPO, digital clearblue, pregnant. 13 DPO, started getting darker. 14 DPO, still light a little bit. 15 DPO is when it actually really started getting darker, so that's when I noticed that it was definitely picking up. 16, almost as dark as the control line. 17 DPO, the control line started getting darker, so it looks like it's not, but if this wasn't as dark, this probably would have been the same again. So 7 DPO, 17 DPO, 18 DPO, it's again as dark. 19 doesn't look the same because this is so dark, the control line. But yeah, so then test line, 19 DPO, 20 DPOs when this was darker in my test line, which that's how it's supposed to be, all in these dark pink caps. So 20 DPO is my dye stealer. Woohoo! You want to see that when you are trying to conceive, or you know, when you're pregnant, really, you want to see that. 21 DPO, definitely way darker, but the control line's messed up. And then 22 DPO, my last test, and this is super dark and the control line is fixed again. So again, I don't know what happened there to here, but yeah, this is my dye stealer again. So as you can see, baby's definitely in there. Thank you God. And I was worried, but seeing this makes me not as worried. So yeah, I haven't seen the doctor yet to confirm, but I will later on, hopefully this month in October 2023. But yeah, so that is my dye stealer. These are my progressions. I hope you guys enjoyed. Baby dust to all trying to conceive, and blessings to those who just found out and who are shocked and have a baby surprise blessing on the way. This is definitely a surprise to me because I thought I wasn't pregnant, but I am for the 3rd go around. Thank you to all who support me, congratulated me on my 3rd pregnancy. It means so much to me. Just from everything, it just means a lot to me. And yeah, blessings to all. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was enjoyable, and I hope you learned something. And yeah, I pray you'll get strong progression lines too if that's what you want. And thank you so much for watching. God bless. Bye. See you in my next video of the other test line progressions. Stay tuned.